What is going on, everybody? Today we're going over Square stock. We're gonna find a couple of things. Number one, we will find the fair value of Square stock according to Warren Buffett, as mentioned in the book The Intelligent Investor, written by his mentor Benjamin Graham. And second thing, we will find the price that Warren Buffett will actually be a buyer. That's about 33% discount from the fair value. And the third thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna go over the financial statements of Square. We're gonna read financial statements for beginners, so each and every one of you can actually know how to read financials for each and every company that you would like to own or already own, and not be afraid of that. It's gonna be fun. So let's get started. Square stuff. So here's the Excel, how to value a stock like Warren Buffett. Square is the stock. We need to find a couple of items in here, which we're gonna do in a minute. And you got two options, by the way, guys. If you want this Excel, you can read the Intelligent Investor book, 600 pages, highly recommended, and then do the formula manually by yourself, or check the description somewhere below for my Patreon, where you can link you can link this Excel, $10 a month to join Patreon, and then do everything and find each and every stock that you would like to either buy or already bought. Find the exact fair value of them according to Warren Buffett. So let's get started with the Square. We need to find EPS, earning per share, as well as growth. Both of those we will find in Yahoo Finance. So we're gonna go back in Yahoo Finance, and I got myself Square currently at $213. Market cap almost 100 billion. With 52 weekly range with $30 to 215. So we are at all-time high, which is crazy. Overvalued according to Yahoo Finance Analyst. 1 year target 191, already passed that. Overvalued as well. Something before we even go into the numbers, look at this number, guys. PE ratio 323. That's insane. To put this in perspective, according to the earnings of Square, it will take you, as of today, if the earnings stays flat and doesn't grow, it will take you, get this, 323 years to actually recoup your investment. So if you're putting, I don't know, $1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100, whatever that you put on Square stock today, it will take you 323 years to recoup that investment, to double in price. Just insane. The whole market, at least the technology sector, is insanely overvalued. But let's see what we need to find, which is two numbers. EPS, earning per share, 0.66. So I'm taking this number into the Excel, and the next number, I'm going here to the Analysis tab. I'm gonna scroll down, and I'm taking this number, 38%, 38.03. That's high, even though Zoom I saw yesterday was around 120%, even crazier, but 38% is high. And look at this crazy. Next quarter they anticipate 1,100% growth. They can anticipate, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen. I assume they think everyone will buy Bitcoin with Square in the next quarter. I highly doubt that's the case, but that's why they put a crazy number of 1,100. So I'm gonna put this number 3803 in the Excel, and let's see what we got. Back in the Excel, guys, in the EPS I'm putting 0.66, and in the growth 38.03. That's basically what we got. The other stuff in yellow are constant. Again, I don't change it. Those are the number that I have taken from the book, Intelligent Investment. And next thing on our list is to find the AAA bond yield. Before we do that, let's go over the financial statements of Square. And for that, we're going back to Yahoo Finance. It's pretty simple, and we're gonna read the financial statements for beginners. So stay back in Yahoo Finance. I'm going here, financials. Okay, financials tab. There we go. Let's see what we got. We got three items opened up for us. income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. And Warren Buffett would like to see a couple of ratios in those three statements. So let's start with the first one. Total revenue, first we want to see just to have a glare that it's growing. So it went from 2017 2.2 billion, 3.2 billion, 4.7 billion, and 7.6 billion. It's not bad. That's pretty good. They're growing the revenue. Let's see if the revenue that grows actually contribute to the bottom line. So for that, we're looking for two ratios. Warren Buffett, the first ratio, we would like to see gross profit, 2.4 billion, divided by total revenue, and he would like to see a number of 40% and up. So let's do this. 2, 4, 5, 6. It's in billions, so I'm not gonna put .768. It's just a rough number. I'd like to see over 40%. So 2,456 divided by 7,652. Like to see over 40. I got myself a number of 32% gross. So whatever Square is making, whatever they try to make, the gross profit is 32%. It's not 40. It's not above 40. It's 32. It's almost there, but it's not there yet. And for Warren Buffett, it's not really a good sign. Let's look at the other ratio in this tab, which is the net income. That's the most important number at the end of the day. You go here, diluted NI, diluted net income available to common stockholders, which are you and me if you bought this stock. 310 million, a little down from 375 million. But a lot more than minus 40 million like 2 years ago. So they are growing, but this last 12 months they didn't grow as much as the year before. Well, there is COVID. So we're gonna take this number 310, okay, and we're gonna divide it by the total revenue 7652. And Warren Buffett would like to see 20% net income and up, a minimum of 20% and up. Let's click enter, and yeah, that's not good. We got ourselves 4% net income. That's pretty slim margins. You know, that's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. According to Warren Buffett, he's out. He's already out. He moved on to the next stock. But let's move on. Let's move on to the balance sheet and see the other ratios that Warren Buffett would consider buying Square stocks. I'm right now in the second column, which is balance sheet, and I'm looking for a couple of things in here. First, again, it's not scary, it's just numbers. Let's just look. Warren Buffett would like to see in a glance a growth. So that's it, just growth in a glance at the first look. So we see 2016 we got they made 1.2 billion in assets, then 2.2 billion, then 3.2 billion, then 4.5 billion. So their assets are growing, which is pretty awesome. And now we want to see if they can actually pay that off. And let's see exactly what I mean by that. I'm looking here in the balance sheet, total liabilities, and I open this, and specifically this one, total non-current. And specifically in here, this one in specific long-term debt, we got ourselves a number of 1 billion, 1.047. And Warren Buffett would like to see that this long-term debt can be paid off in 4 years, or taking this number, 1,047. And I'm dividing it by going back to the income statement and going all the way here to the diluted net income. That's the most important number at the end of the day. Diluted net income available to common stockholders. So I'm dividing this by 310, and ideally I would like to see a number below 4, meaning that Square can pay off their long-term debt, not short-term paychecks, salaries, all that stuff. Long-term debt in 4 years or less. If that's the case, then it's considered a healthy company in the eyes of Warren Buffett. Let's click enter. Got yourself a good number. 3 years and 30, let's say 3 years and a quarter. 3 years, 3 months, something like that. Pretty good. They can pay their long-term debt in 4 years or less. That's all you need to find in that second item, which is called the balance sheet. That is it. That's all you need to find. Sure, you can go over all those numbers one by one, find whatever that you want to find, but that's how Warren Buffett at least does his preliminary search when he wants to buy stocks of a company. Next item on our list is cash flow, so let's go. Couple of things I want to see in cash flow. The first thing is this: operating cash flow, the money that they are generating from the operation itself, from Square, from I don't know, swiping cards, bitcoins, whatever the case. Everyone are using Square, all this fees that they generate, that's the money, and I want to see this grow. Right now it's 320 million, and this was 460 million, so they're down. They're down from a year ago, 465 to 320. That's not a good sign, but it is still a positive. I want to see a positive in here. I want to see a negative in the second one. Invest, not me, Warren Buffett, but I do what he does and pick stocks just in cash flow. I want to see a negative number, meaning whatever excess cash they have, they invest back in the business. They expand, they do whatever that they need to bring more value to their shareholder, which is a good thing. So I'd like to see a negative, and I do. Not a good sign. It's a crazy high number, 1.3 billion. Positive. A year before that it was a negative 100 million, 98 million, and now it's a positive 1.3 billion. What is finance cash flow? If it was a negative, it could mean two things: either dividends, which is not the case in a software company, or buyback. Buyback the stock, remove stock from circulation, and support the price theoretically to go up. If it's positive, which is what we see here, it means that they probably either went into more debt, it's not a good thing, or they issued a lot more shares and diluted their current shareholders, which is a bad thing as well. And basically they bring more Square stocks into the market and making it more supply, and the demand will increase, thus dilute the share price, and thus dilute the shareholders, and the price theoretically should go down. So I would like to see a negative, and I see a positive number. Not just me, Warren Buffett as well, and that's not a good sign for Square stuff. See the ratio that Warren Buffett is looking for in the cash flow statement. Before that, just look at this free cash flow year over year. They went from 400 million last year to 220 million, almost half. They burned like $200 million cash in a year. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. No matter how much you expend, you lost half of your free cash flow, and that's if you're a Square stockholder, you gotta pay attention to financials, not just TikTok and YouTube, because people will tell you go buy it, will go to the moon just to get views and likes. But just read the financials, decide by yourself. That's my best conclusion. Let's see the ratio that Warren Buffett is looking for. Capital expenditure, this number 103, it's always gonna be in the negative as far as I know. It means that how are they spending their money, their free cash flow? Is it efficiently, average, or below average, and so on and so on. Warren Buffett would like to see a number of 25% and under, and if it's between 25 and 50, that's an average spend, and anything over 50, well, basically the management doesn't know how to spend their free cash flow, and that's not a good sign. So we're taking 103 and we're going back to the income statement, again to the net income number, which we all see. That's all you need to do. Always go back to this diluted net income. You divide that number, the 103, by 310, 103 by 310, and ideally that number should be below 25. Apple is like 2% or something, like superb efficiency with their cash flow or something like that. That's crazy. So let's click enter, and we got ourselves 33%, meaning they're spending their money average. Anything between 25 to 50 is an average way to spend money. It's not a superior company, and that's why Warren Buffett will not be a Square buyer. It's average, but Also, Katie Wood saw some Square stocks in the last couple of weeks. Feel free to check my other videos about this, what it is. But let's find the actual fair value. Does Square really worth $212 as of today? Or is it overvalued or undervalued? And the price that Warren Buffett will actually be a buyer. He will not be a buyer, but assume everything will check out. Let's see what the price he will be. So I'm going to back to my Excel. The Excel, I found the number 221 for AAA corporate bond. And basically once I click enter, I'm gonna find two things. Number one, the fair value of Square stock according to Benjamin Graham, the intelligent investor, which was Warren Buffett mentor. And number two, the price that Warren Buffett will actually be a buyer, if he would be a buyer, if all the stuff on the financial statement will work out, which clearly they didn't. But this is something to consider if you want to buy Square or if you already bought Square. To it, guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Ziv, also known as Finance After 40. While I am new to YouTube, you can find me on TikTok under the same handler, Finance After 40, where I have about 15,000 plus community members following me, as well as Patreon in the description below, where you can find this exact Excel that you can insert any stock that you like. And we do other stuff like selling options for income, crypto plays, and all that good stuff, all for $10 a month, or 2 cups of Starbucks coffee, which I have right here. So cheers. And without further ado, guys, I'm gonna find the fair value of Square stock. So dum da da dum da 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 dum. Yeah, half of where it is now. $111. That's the fair value according to the book of Square stock. And the price that Warren Buffett will actually be a buyer is $74. You know, it is what it is. It's super overvalued today according to all those stuff. Doesn't mean it's not gonna go up, but Warren Buffett will not be a buyer unless he won't be a buyer at all. Not at 74, unless they fix everything that they need to fix in all the numbers. The only good number that I saw was that they can pay their long-term debt in less than 4 years, which is very good. But other than that, it's not ideal. Do not listen to TikTok, YouTube, whatever that you see. People will tell you Square will go to 500, Square will go to 1,000. Do your own research. I hope these financial statements for beginner actually help. Leave a comment below which stocks would you like me to analyze next. If I bring you guys any value, don't forget to do two things. Subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification so you won't miss any other videos as well. And yeah, and I will see you next video. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you next time. Yeah.